Hello, this clip is on Task 8 of Part B2 of the Oxford Advanced Integrated Task. I'd like to give you some support through this clip. So first of all, you would need to take a look at the situation. So make sure you know who you are, you're Danny Yu, and which company you work for, what is your role, and who is your boss, Elsa Liu. So whatever Elsa tells you to do, you need to do it. Moving on, this is I named this instructional email because let's take a look at who's this email is from. So Elsa Liu, who is this? Your boss. Okay, so whatever your boss tells you to do, things for you to do. So you need to complete these tasks. And usually in the email, it's separated into 3 chunks, and usually this first body paragraph refers to task 8, second refers to task 9, and then the third would refer to task 10. So we only need to focus on task 8 today. At first, you would need to think about, after reading the first paragraph, you would need to answer these questions. So what is the genre of the task that you need to write? What about the audience? Formality? The structure? So let's quickly look at the instruction for task 8. So we received a lot of questions from customers, how to stay safe while on a junk trip. Could you please write an advice page? This is very important, okay? So an advice page for our website. What you need to do is to think about the formality. Okay, how do we know the formality? Well, who are we writing the advice page for? So for customers, if it's a web page and it's an advice page for customers, it wouldn't be too formal. Okay, talk about what passengers should and shouldn't do while on a cruise. Start by listening to, okay, these are the sources that you need to refer to. So first of all, I like you to think about what does a normal advice page look like? So of course you can't really do this when you're in an exam. It's either for an exam. But if you have read any advice web pages, you would know that there should be a title, okay? And if you look at the language, okay, shoulds, strongly recommend. So these are modal verbs that you would need to use to give advice. Now to start off the advice page, take a look at this. What is this? Most people are fit to travel by air, but special attention is required for passengers whose medical conditions, yada da da da. Okay, so this is the intro. So you would need something general to lead your readers into what you actually want to cover. And one question is, look at these. So these are point forms here. So are point forms allowed in your advice page? You gotta read through the instructions, okay? Now next, I'd like you to look at where hints are given in the instructional email, okay? So can you see the start by, okay? Start by listening to my interview on life of leisure. So that's number 1, source 1. And number 2, by having a look at our staff manual. Also, take a look at a link to relevant forum thread. All right, so where do we find these? This is where the content page comes in handy. Okay, so your boss mentioned this, so you know you need to go to page 3 for this. For the second item, the email, we have read this already, okay? And the staff manual is on page 5. and the thread from Hong Kong Pleasures Forum on page 6. Okay, so make sure you know that these are the pages here on the side, and these are just the number for the data files. Okay, not to be confused with the page numbers here. Okay, so it's easy for you to actually refer to. Okay, so you got to turn to these pages. These are the pages that you need to go. Okay, so this is one page you need to go to, and you need to listen carefully and take good notes. Now, if you take a look at the subheading here, how to stay safe while on a junk trip, right away you know that, ooh, you got a lot of info that you need to bring into task 8. And if you look at the others, you may not need these for task 8. Okay, may not. Of course, you got to be careful. So this is the staff menu. You need to read through it. This is the thread, okay, from Hong Kong Pleasures Forum, that you need to read through all of this. So what actually is relevant to task 8, and then you gotta plug it in. Okay, just one more thing. Although your boss has not actually mentioned these for task 8, do we actually need anything from the rest of the data file? So bonus hint for you. So actually, for the Skype, if you look through Skype chat between Elsa Liu and Danny Yu, you actually get some relevant info that you need, instructions for the structure and on the format of for task 8. Okay, so let's read through this. Yes, what might be, so Elsa, your boss, what might be a less easy fix though? It's a web page, advice page. Ooh, okay, so this is task 8. Okay, we really need this to be written in the style of an article, not just, you see, not just a list of do's and don'ts. So I guess it's not like point forms, not just you're do this, do blah blah, don't do this. Okay, so not in this style, which we actually looked at previously on a genuine advice web page. Okay, so this is not allowed. Okay, so also here, make sure you give it an appropriate title, which we actually knew. Okay, all right, so have fun with your task 8.